Welcome, Kletus Roadside Service. It is Christmas Eve, and I am off of work early. I took a half day of PTO. We just had stuff going on inside the shop. There was no jobs today. Though there's a couple jobs, but other guys were taking care of those. I wasn't on that. I was part of the 10-man crew that was supposed to be. They didn't have anything for 10 people. So we were going to sandblast a roll-off container, one that we had, it's ours, and somebody put some really nasty shit inside of it or something. I don't even know exactly what yet. But we were going to do sandblasting and then painting. We were going to get it sandblasted and painted with 10 people. We figured we could probably get it done. But it's too cold today. So the bosses said, nope, let's not do that. How about you guys just clean up the shop? Which we all had, like, I don't, there's stuff to do. There's never not something to do, but the stuff to do, nobody likes it. Everybody's gonna just bullshit around and fucking mosey around and everything. So I did that for about 4 hours of just moseying around, just moving stuff here and there. And then I said, you know what? I'm gonna talk to the boss real quick. Hey, can I use 4 hours of PTO today and take a half day? He said, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just moving shit around in the shops. He's like, sounds like not a whole lot. Sounds like you're ready to go home. I'm like, yeah, yep. So left, and then there's a little bit of breaking news in my life. The truck has been reacquired, the 92, and I don't really feel like getting into specifics about everything with the purchase of it again, but the truck that he never turned his title in. I never sent my slip in. Both are signed, dated. Everything's done to him. But I was going to let him run on my tags for a few months, and then because it made no sense for him to, since he's my brother, it made no sense to go off and take the tags off and just lose out on whatever I had already paid for. And he would be able to. We were getting ready to go through all that because the tags expired in November. Obviously, it is Christmas Eve, so they're a little out of date. But he never drives the truck, so I just saw somebody stop in the middle of the crossing arms, like on the tracks. They stopped and they were waiting for the crossing arm to go up. I'm like, are you fucking with me? Luckily, this is like it's just not a hump yard or whatever. It's just like trains moving really slowly through there. So, anyways, so I was gonna acquire the truck today. I've been in talks with my brother for a while about how I could get the truck back and everything with all that shit going on. But finally, we came to an agreement, and I was ready to pick it up. I was like, fuck, I'll just pick it up today. So I went over to his house. I just left his house. I don't know if you guys remember. There's an issue with the clutch on that truck, and I went over there and we got it fixed. Like, the clutch was operating, everything was fine. It was low on fluid, but I don't know. I don't really know what the hell. I think we got a faulty master cylinder, because that seems to be the thing that's been the most pain in the ass. Is the clutch master cylinder is a little fucked up or something. It's like brand new, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Why it would be? It's either that or the clutch fork is bent, which that would not be a fun time. I don't think. Yeah, that would not be a fun time, having the clutch fork bent. Because that would basically mean I gotta pull the transmission out, I think. I don't have to pull the clutch off, so I can leave the clutch still attached to the flywheel and everything, but I would have to pull the transmission out, uh, and the throw out bearing and all that stuff. But I don't know, because the clutches should still be good. I mean, it's been replaced not too long ago, but I've done it before. I could do it again. I just don't want to have to replace the clutch. But I don't know. Part of me is, I don't know. I don't have the time or the money to do that right now. So I'd like to just figure out what the hell's going on. I might just go ahead and replace the master cylinder. It is leaking. So, and that's one problem, but I don't think that was the main problem. I filled it back up and I bled it just now while we were there. It wasn't building up a lot of pressure. Well, actually, the clutch pedal wasn't building any pressure at all. But I noticed it was shooting the fluid out. Where it was just dripping it out, but then it would squirt it out pretty far. What is this guy doing? You have the lane. This fucking semi truck, it's a container truck. He has just had his blinker on the whole time. I don't know what the hell is going on with him. He's acting dumb. And I'm even in the wrong lane, so this might get interesting. Yep, there we go. I got it. Going where I need to go. That fucking semi, I don't know if he knows what the fuck is even happening right now. Um, yeah, I don't know what's going on with the clutch. But I went over there, we got it fired up, I moved it around. Uh, I put the shifter through all the gears, and but I don't know. Don't know what's going on. Even tried to, I started it in reverse, and it's not catching. The clutch isn't catching at all. And you can just like barely grind the gears, like just like pull it to where you can hear it, the gears touching just ever so slightly. And I could not. You should be able, and whenever you hit the clutch, you should be able to hear it slow down. And it's not like I'm grinding the fucking gear. You just pull it back until you can just get a little bit of feedback, and it wasn't slowing down at all. So the clutch is not operating at all. But I made sure that underneath the dash, the clutch, the push arm is connected, because that's one thing I was a little worried about. I'm going the wrong way. These motherfuckers. Get out of my way, Florida bitch. Hogging the left lane. I went the wrong way, so it's not your fault, Florida man, but you're not driving smart is what I'm saying right here. And GPS says it's faster for me to do a U-turn, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. What else has been going on? Last weekend, because the last episode I recorded was Friday. It's now Tuesday. It's been a while since I recorded anything, and I didn't think I was even going to record anything today, but Friday, got off of work. What did I do? Oh, I held that low boy. Everything went fine with that. Everything went exactly the way as planned. Whenever I got to the offload place, they were like, "Oh, do you think you can get up in?" I'm like, "I don't want." I didn't even know what he was talking about quite yet. I was just like, I don't want to be in a situation where it's a question Do you think you can get that thing up in there? Like, man, I really don't want to do that, but let's see what you're talking about. And it was a Boy Scouts place. Um, I don't know. It was like a bunch of little dirt gravel roads that twist up into the trails and stuff. It's like a whole like Boy Scout resort or something. And went up in there, and yeah, it was tight in a couple of spots. I had to, pass my turn to go further to find a place to do a U-turn so I could make the corner because it was like up a hill and twisted and around, and the low boy I had to get out and raise it up. There we go. Sneaking on by. People want to just ride each other's fucking bumpers the whole time they drive around. It's like, I'm not trying to take your lane. I'm just trying to, I got to pass through. Make a hole, bitch. Jeez. But yeah, everything went well with that. I did have the transmission did that one fucked up thing where it won't let you shift. It did that to me one time, so I like while I was going up the hill, I had to back up a little bit and it went ding ding ding. I'm like, God damn it, it's doing that thing again. And it hadn't done it all day, and I had backed up and went forward and reversed and all kinds of shit. And no issue, but I don't know. Up there at that point in time, it decided to do that. So I had to shut the truck off. They're like, what's wrong? Is the truck break? I'm like, it won't shift. They're like, oh no. I'm like, I just gotta unhook the batteries real quick. Hold on. Hold on. I really need to have this GPS up on my fucking. I don't even know where the fuck I'm going. My wife sent me a link to a Target, and it's not where I normally drive. I have not been on this exit ramp in a very long time. When I hauled lumber, I used to be on this exit ramp all the time, but I don't know, there was a truck that broke the bridge and it was down for a while, I think. But they got it up and going now, so here we are. Man, it would have been nice if I wouldn't have missed my fucking turn earlier. What else is going on? Oh, well, there's just a guy at work that was annoying me. Well, I was annoying him, and he was getting annoyed. I don't know. We're just doing shop work. It's not a big deal. It's just shop work. He's acting like that they gave him the golden key to the fucking shop and said everything you say goes. So he's like over there trying to delegate everything, and he's a fucking just a guy. Like he's nothing. He's got a class B, but I don't know. He's not to me. For the sake of my own sanity, I'm gonna say he ain't worth a fuck. Uh, me and him have been in disagreements. More, I disagree with what he does because I just go along with what I'm like. Oh, you want to do it that way? I don't think that's a good idea. We should do it this way. And he says, no, we're doing it this way. I'm like, okay, we're doing it your way. That's the way we should do it. I didn't know. I thought this was like a comment section time where I could, throw in my 2 cents on what I think we should do. But since you're the boss, we're going to do it your way. And that resulted in me twisting my fucking ring finger. And my ring finger it hurt for a very long time. But, did I tell anybody about it? No. I just and that was, so we had a roll off truck we needed to wash out at the landfill. He wanted to I did get my way a little bit. He was saying he wanted to wash it off down at the bottom where all the fucking trash like you're just stepping through random trash. It's a fucking nasty fucking place. I understand we're washing out a container, but I'm like, hey, I'm friends with the guy at the liquid pit. Let's take the dumpster up to the liquid pit where there's a fucking concrete floor. We can back on it. We can rinse it all into their pit, and he doesn't give a shit. He lets us use his area to wash out dumpsters because most people need to wash out up there anyways, and it's away from everybody. It's not a big deal. Can we just go up there to the clean, open, empty area to clean out this dumpster? So we got up there. He was like, "No, we wash out down here." I'm like, "Well, we can wash out up there." And I think I was No, he was driving the truck. I was running the Landa. And so we go up there, and I'm like, "All right, set the dumpster down." He's like, "No, we wash it on the truck." I'm like, "That is over 4 foot off the ground. It's also confined space. I'm not trying to be fucking nitpicky here, but just set it on the fucking ground. First off, there's a tarp on the top of it. It's not a confined space. A vac box is, but this one was not. Let me rephrase that. Um, we should roll the tarp off of it and then lay it on the well, we got to lay it on the ground to get the tarp off and then to unchain all the doors so we don't, it's easier to grab. Everything's easier when it's on the ground. Doing anything with the container other than just opening the back door is a pain in the fucking ass when it's up in the ground, up off the ground, 4 foot in the air on a truck. There's a big risk of falling because we got to get in that fucking container. And I'm going way more elaborate than I did with him. I said, "Hey, let's just sit it on the ground." He's like, "No, we wash it up there." I'm like, "No, we should do it on the ground. Just you don't have to unhook anything. All you have to do is sit in the cab of your truck, push a button, push a lever up, and then the other lever down for the cable, and then just let it roll down. Don't even take it off of the truck completely. I'm not saying drop it and move the truck out of the way. I'm not saying anything like that. Just let the container roll back and touch the ground so we can walk inside of it, and everything is so much more accessible." And he was not having it. So and this was one of those times where I wasn't really upset. I was just like, I think it would be better this way, but whatever. I'm not going to fight you. Let's just do it that way. And then we have these chains that there's 4 chains on the back door that are on the face of the door. Well, they're not on the face of the door. They're hooked to the actual container, but they hang over the door on the top and they hang below the door on the bottom. And then there's a boomer that's attached to the door that you tighten it up. I don't know why they're so super duper secure when they're an open top, but they are. They have a rubber seal, and it's to make sure you get a good rubber seal on there. You're not supposed to haul liquid in an open top dumpster. I don't know why that's a thing, but whatever, it's a thing. One of the chains, like if it's on the ground, you grab the chain, you just throw it up on top because once you open the door, the chains will fall in between the door and the seal, and then you got to swing those chains up backwards, and it'll swing up and it'll land on top of the dumpster. Or if it's on the ground, you can just pick up the chain and set it off to the side. When I went to do that, it was the first thing I did on the back. I grabbed the chain, and my finger went into the chain. And when I swung it backwards, it's hard. You got to swing it really hard so it'll go all the way up. And it fucking caught my finger, and I twisted the fuck out of my finger. It hurt so fucking bad. That's my fucking exit. And you're in my way, Pacifica. My fault. I didn't have my blinker on. I probably could have put my blinker on and made it, but we'll just go up to this next exit. I'm over here just talking about how I'm raged against somebody and not paying attention to the fucking GPS. Um, let's see. Today, what it was up in our shop along our wall. We have a hose reel for a water hose. It's inside the shop. Sometimes whenever it's cold, really cold out, or you just don't want to go outside, we have a hose reel on the inside that you can fill up our power washers with water from the inside. And also right next to that is our ice machine, so we can fill up our coolers with ice. and then they added in a new spigot that goes outside, and that was another PVC water line that ran from there along the wall all the way to outside. And there was previous iterations of multiple different lines that were PVC lines that there was a bunch of racking and shit, and this was along the wall, so it was kind of hard. You just cut the old line, lay the new line, and the old line will just sit there. But we're cleaning everything out because we're reorganizing the entire shop area. So we pulled all the racks out, and there's all these old PVC lines and electrical lines and all this other shit in the fucking way. That guy lives in a horrible spot. And it's all old PVC. It's dusty, it's dirty on the inside. Like, there's nothing good about any of this PVC. It's got the cheapest little hangers. It's like a plastic, I don't know, just hanger that's not going to be used at all. We're not going to reuse it ever. And so I'm over there cutting the PVC and just ripping the PVC off of the wall, breaking the little retainers or whatever. And this guy got all sort of bent out of shape. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "Removing the fucking pipe off the wall." He's like, "Well, we don't need it. We have tools to take that stuff off. Why don't you use the tool?" I'm like, "Where's the fucking tool? I don't see the tool." He's like, "It's over there." I'm like, "Okay, well, me walking over there and grabbing the tool to take this off just to throw that fucking hanger and this PVC in the trash seems not worth it." He's like, "We're not throwing any of this shit away. This is all good stuff." I'm like, none of this is good. None of this is good. That whenever I talk about the hanger, it's a plastic strip that's flexible and it's got holes in it, and you just drape it around the pipe, and then you put one screw through two holes, and it just holds it up there. And they're really old and extra fucking brittle because I just barely pulled on it and it fucking exploded. And if he's worried about screws being in the wall, brother, this building has been around for so fucking long. There are so many screws and wires and baling wire, all kinds of shit along all of these walls. I don't think the one little screw where the PVC was is going to make any difference. It's an interior wall because they added onto the shop. The dude was just being super, I don't know, annoyed with me. And then I happened to be on the forklift because I went around searching for it so I could move a pallet of whatever junk that we had into the other building. And then I ended up doing some other sorting, putting pallets up on racks and sorting pallets, just doing normal forklift shit, organizing. And he came. He's like, "Where's the fucking? Bring the fucking forklift over here. We're working over here." I'm like, "Brother, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. You were working on PVC pipes. I had no idea you needed the fucking forklift for the PVC pipes." He's like, "We're not for the fucking PVC pipes. It's for the fucking blah blah blah, whatever the fuck it was." So I went over there. Oh, it was for the barrels. There's a. This does not seem like a good idea at all. I think this is a line to get into Target. That's what I think this is. Um, there were barrels, plastic barrels, 55-gallon drums that were on a um, spill pad or whatever you want to call it. It's just like a 6-inch thick platform that you could put barrels on, and if they leak, it's a containment. That's what I was trying to think of. And they're 2x4, 2 foot by 4 foot, and they're in a line. And I looked at the sides of them, and they have like a little connector, little hook. And so I slid underneath one, and I picked up, and it wouldn't pick up. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "It's got a connector." He's like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Well, I tried this side. I got to try the other side now because it's a hook. So only one side will go up. The other side is going to go down." And I mean, I'm being honest. They did have the hook, but I went to the other side and tried to pick up, and that one did the same thing. He's like, "No, you can't take them apart when they're loaded." And then I looked at it a little closer, and somebody had melted the plastic around it, and so basically plastic welded the fucking containment in a line, which is not. I was like, all right, well, I can grab it in the middle, and I can carry it over to wherever you want. And he's like, you can't get it over there, and blah blah blah. I don't know. He was really being. He was very upset with. He doesn't think I'm good at anything. Is what the problem is. And normally I would say something like, "What I've been a forklift operator for like 15 years, and not gonna lie, I might be the best forklift operator in the world." Um, well, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not the best in the world, but I think I am the best forklift operator in the nearest uh 25-mile range. Let's say that, because I don't know. There's a lot of warehouses around me. There might be an old guy that's like super fucking good that I wouldn't be able to compete with, but I'm really fucking good with a forklift. And normally I would bring that up. But this guy, I don't want to fight with him. I dislike him. I don't really dislike the guy. I just think he's really fucking annoying, and he thinks that I'm dumb. But I'm like, "You're still a cool guy. You just hate me a lot." I don't even know how to explain this. But yeah, normally I would bring up and try to let him know that I know what the fuck I'm doing and to get the fuck out of the way. But this guy was just being so fucking annoying. I'd rather him just think I'm a complete dumbass. Uh, because that's what he thinks. And part of me is like, going up to him and say, "Oh, I've been a forklift operator for however fucking long," isn't gonna do any good. Oh, I forgot to text the wife. You know, I forgot to let her know that I was on my way to Target to pick up this fucking toy. This is a very busy area. I still haven't made it to Target, and I've made it a block and a half. I'm behind a bus. Um, hold on. There's a line, so I don't know. Um, yeah, I'd rather just let him continue to think I'm a dumbass because I don't really give a fuck what his opinion of me is at all. All right. My turn, motherfuckers. Now I gotta figure out where the spots are. Oh, there they are. Uh huh, uh huh. We got the police. Police are here. All right, drive up spot number. I don't know. I can't even get there yet. Oh, I'm gonna run over the curb. No, I didn't. I'm here. Oh, damn. Number 2. The yeah, I'm just this fucking guy. I don't care to impress him. I don't care that if he thinks I'm a good operator or not. I know what I am, and that's all that matters. Just keep thinking I'm a dumbass. I don't give a fuck. I'd rather just try to avoid you anytime we're working together because he always likes to do things he thinks he knows best. He wants to do things his way. And then I don't know, he was like running the whole show, and then I was just walking through and he's like, "Hey, find out where this stuff goes. Ask whoever." I'm like, and I just left. I went home. He didn't know that I was scheduled to go home at a half day, so I just fucking left. And he'll find, yeah, it'll be somebody else's deal. Fuck them. Good. Code on that? 2053. There you go. Thank you. Have a good one. Yep. You got big red bags at this Target. Definitely looks like a freaking Christmas gift. Ooh, something didn't sound good. All right. We're leaving. We're getting the fuck out of here. Yeah, Christmas is going to be a little different this year. My wife is actually pretty upset about it. Because we're too sick to go. We haven't seen her family at all, and going to see her family just doesn't seem like a thing that's going to happen. And I don't know. I think I brought it up before. I think I go this way. That there's a lot of presents for the kids that we wanted the kids to have, but we gotta wait until we see her family because they fucking bought them all, which is it's great. We're glad they bought them, but it's like, all right, when can we fucking come get them? Yep, I'm turning this way too, motherfucker. And one of the gifts, so there was a gaming chair for my son. And if you have little kids around, get them out of here. Okay, get them out. Quit, turn it off. Turn it off right now. There's a gaming chair that I thought my son would really love from Santa. Um, but that was the first thing that one of her family members bought was that. So now we're like, well, we were wrapping presents the other night, and we're like, well, what the hell is Santa gonna bring? Because everything he has a bunch of stuff he's gonna really enjoy, but none of it is the Santa gift. Um, so we had to emergency make a fucking Nerf gun buy, which we got now, so that's cool. Just like, oh man. And then what I just picked up from Target is the other emergency buy, which is this dream castle thing that my wife says that she's been talking about it all day, yesterday and today. That's all she could talk about is this castle thing. I don't even know what it is. I don't know. But we got it. Everything's good. Saved Christmas. I'm on my way. I'm going to be off tomorrow. And then I got to go. I'm going to be going out of town. I'm going to be going on a little bit of a drive and something that was going to bother me a little bit that my company was going to have me work up and possibly on Saturday, but now I'll be home Friday night. So I'm going to go out of town Thursday, but I'll be back Friday night. So that'll be all right. Be all right with me. Yeah. So excited. Excited. Now the truck is back to. It's not in my possession quite yet, but I'm excited to have the truck. Excited that I didn't. I mean, selling the car is still a goal, but I'm glad I didn't have to go. Keep it. Like shit. I got to get this car sold before I can get the fucking truck back. We were able to work out a different type of deal. And yeah, Christmas is tomorrow morning. This is exciting. All the presents are wrapped. The house is actually not in that bad a shape, so getting it, back. I mean, that's what we're gonna spend tonight doing. Probably is well, not all tonight, but we got to get the house cleaned up. Either that or do it, when we should be sleeping. Um, Getting everything done. The elf, you can bring the kids back. The elf, he showed up today. He left a note saying that you guys have been good kids, and you guys should have great presents in the morning. And the elf you could play with me, so they can touch him and all that good stuff because they weren't allowed to touch him before. And he'll be on his way back to the North Pole to hang out with Santa Claus on the off season. Uh huh. That elf has a badass job. I wish I could be an elf on the shelf. Go hang out with some kids, do some fucking naughty things for a little while, for like a month, and then just go hang out with Santa. I saw this thing on Facebook. Is Caleb Francis? He just makes like shorts and stuff. He's a funny fucking guy. His the caption was Santa on Christmas night on his 3 billionth glass of milk, and he just chugs it. He's like, I fucking love milk. I don't know. Hey, you'd have to see it. I butchered it, but it was funny, funny deal. Yeah, I don't know. Today I'm just gonna play video games or something. I don't know. I don't know. And then tomorrow morning, I gotta start. I gotta pull out. I gotta get the smoker pulled out into the driveway. Get my cord ran out there and fire that motherfucker up and start smoking my ham. That's what we bought last night. Went to the grocery store. The whole family did. Bought a ham, apple cider, not the vinegar, and also maple syrup, like genuine maple syrup. None of that high fructose corn syrup fucking shit. This is the genuine thing. It's $7 for a tiny little bottle, but it's way more liquidy than what you would think. You would think syrup is like syrup, but no, that's something else. That ain't syrup. That ain't maple. That ain't real maple syrup. This shit's like water almost. And I ate some on a graham cracker. just to taste it, and it was fucking delicious. I don't know what that noise is coming from that truck. Yeah, just gonna spend time with my family. Have a good little Christmas. We watched a couple of Christmas movies over the weekend, and kids are off of school, so they're just running around wild as hell. Super. They have had no excitement all day until I get home, so they're gonna be super happy to see me. I'm still a little bit sick, but it's manageable. It's not even worth mentioning, really. Um, Tell you what, my body's been sore. That's the bad one. Is my legs are just not feeling great. And my lower back pain is starting to come back. I don't want to contribute all of every great thing about me to carnivore diet, but I'm starting to think eating all this shitty food is causing inflammation again, and that's why my legs are hurting and my back is hurting because I've been eating a lot of shitty foods. I did eat McDonald's last night. I just ordered 2 McDoubles and a French fry. That's all I got. But if the kids aren't gonna eat all of their burger, I'll go ahead and take care of it for you, little kids. Saving it does no good. If you throw it in the fridge, it's just gonna sit in there and end up being a rock because the kids will never want that. Like you offer it all the time, even if you bring it out and heat it up, they ain't gonna eat it, and I definitely ain't gonna eat reheated McDonald's. That's just wrong. Um, yeah, there is I think there's a podcast labeled "Best World's Best Forklift Operator" or whatever. I go give that one a listen. I think I remember that one, and it's a good one. It's a good one to listen to because I'm the world's best forklift operator. Okay, in my world, I'm the best fucking forklift operator that's ever fucking been. I know what the fuck to do with my forklift. But it's got to have a fucking clutch pedal. There's a clutch brake pedal, and then there's a regular brake pedal. Those are the ones that I like to run. I don't like the only having a clutch brake. I do not like it. You might be wondering what the fuck. No, the clutch is no use for me. It's got a little knob on the stock there that's forward and reverse and neutral in the middle, and that's my clutch right there. Throw her down into neutral and rev the piss out of it. Because the clutch brake, sometimes you accidentally, I don't know, I'm not as smooth with using the clutch. I like to know where my inputs are, and putting it in neutral, knowing this thing ain't gonna shift, it ain't gonna go, it ain't gonna move. I don't have to whenever you just barely tap the clutch brake and it immediately kicks into neutral or whatever, but you can't ride the clutch. It just doesn't. I don't like it. So I had a Caterpillar 9,000 pound lift at the lumber yard, and that was my small lift. I had a big one. It was like a 14K. I don't know what it was. I just knew how to drive it. I'm like Danica Patrick. She doesn't know a fucking thing about cars. She's like, I just know how to drive it. She did wreck a lot. She did. Uh, I'm not like Danica Patrick at all. So, anyways, yeah, I'm just. It's a lot of fun to run a forklift if you know what you're doing. And I figured, nobody. I mean, people taught me. Obviously, you got to sit through all the training classes and stuff. But me and a forklift are like beans and ketchup. I don't know. No, like me and forklifts are like uh, cottage cheese with a little bit of salt in it. Okay, it's so fucking good. I like running forklifts. I did quit a place. I was working there a little while. There were other reasons also, but I usually will attribute me. I quit that place because I did not like their forklifts, and they were not willing to get. I was a newbie, so they weren't going to be like, "Oh, the newbie wants a new forklift." No, they weren't going to do that. I was like, "I don't like your forklifts. I think they are pieces of shit, and I'm not going to spend, what at that point in time. Whenever you get a new job, not that necessarily you think that you're going to work there forever, but it's a possibility. I'm not going to work here for the rest of my life driving a piece of shit forklift. I will dread every day coming into work and having this piece of shit forklift. Like, oh, well, if you're such a good forklift operator, you could operate anything. No, I don't think so. The stand-up ones, I probably would never work somewhere with a stand-up forklift. That just throws me off. Plus, I don't want to stand up. I like to sit down. Uh, yeah, just give me a good forklift, and I'll fork anything. And I'll rarely ever get off of that fucking seat. Like, oh, well, a box fell off. You did accidentally hit some bumps. Not your fault. You hit some bumps and the box fell off. Some people would get off the fucking forklift and put themselves in danger being on foot in a forklift area. No, not me. Drop that pallet, pull the forks out, go over there, pick up the box with the forks, and set it back up there, and then just nudge it, side shift, tilt, fuck, boom, right back where it was. Pick up the pallet and keep on going. It's almost the same amount of time as getting off and just picking the box up. And I don't know. There's so many different scenarios on a forklift that I've been in that I can't explain them all. But worked at the lumber yard and splitting a pack of lumber that's banded up and might even have fucking a tarp on it. Not a tarp, but it's like wrapped up in that cheap fabric or whatever. I can get the fabric ripped off, get the bands broke, and gently snag exactly how many pieces of lumber I want off of a stack without damaging any of it. And that's something I did quite often. People would always, if somebody comes over to help me or it's a new guy or whatever, they're like, oh, yeah, I'll help you stack those. Buddy, sit your ass down. Get out of the way before you get hurt. I'm going to sit up here on this seat and I'm going to get exactly what the fuck I want. The only thing I can't do from the forklift is band it up. Okay? That's about it. You got to get off, you got to band it up. Plastic or metal bands? I preferred the metal because that's what I worked with probably more than anything. But the plastic banders weren't bad. We got electric heat sealing, electric banding equipment. Those were pretty fucking cool. Not gonna lie. You just loop it around the bundle of wood, and then you just clip it into the machine and hit the button, and you go, pop it off. You're banded, bud. You're good. The worst part about that was not having a charged up battery, because the batteries would go dead and people wouldn't plug them back in, or they'd just take off with the electric bander, and you're like, why the fuck is the electric bander not at the banding station? Oh, Jacob used it over there earlier. Look over there, it's raining. It's just sitting out there in the rain. You're like, you motherfucker. But we had the manual crank ones with the little metal clips and the big crimpers. I was pretty good at those too. Not gonna lie, I did cut my eyeball with a band once. I put a band on, but I forgot a piece of wood or something. I don't know, or I think it was a runner, which is a board that has like a little slit in it that the band will sit in, and so you can put it underneath the wood, so it's elevated off the floor, so you can fit forks underneath it. They're just like a 1x2 board with a little slit cut in it. Anyways, sometimes you just get quick in the motion and you would band it, but the board wouldn't get set on there exactly right. So I just grabbed my knife and I just sliced the fucking band, and the band flipped up and cut me in the fucking eyeball. And I was like, "Oh shit!" And I ran off. I went to the bathroom. I was looking. I cut my eyeball, but it wasn't cut like super bad. I mean, but it didn't feel good at all. And I had to. I don't know why. I don't know. I didn't want to get in trouble. So I went into my boss's office and I asked him if I could go home early. I have some, and while I'm like trying to keep my eyes looking normal, which if anything fucks up with my eyes, it's all over, you can tell. But somehow I was able to talk my way out of either going to the nurse or the, the workman's comp place or whatever the fuck it is, and continuing to work. I was able to just go home. It was kind of one of those things could go either really good or really bad here type of situation. Like I could get fired for being hurt. That place was they I don't know, they were not. I guess back in the day they were pretty cool, but that boss screamed at me in my face once because I was supposed to receive a raise. They said, "Hey, come over and do this position. We'll give you this much money." I said, "Okay." And I would go over there and I'm doing the position. I'm like, "When do I get the raise?" They were like, "Oh, you'll get it soon." And then I went back in there. I was like, "Hey, when do I get that raise?" This was like a month later. Like, "Oh, you'll get it soon." And I went back in there and I said, "Hey, man, where the fuck is my raise that you guys were talking about? I'm going to start asking for back pay." And the boss, I mean, obviously I was being a little bit more respectful than I'm talking right now, but he stood up. He was like foaming from the mouth, screaming at me that I'm not getting a raise. I don't fucking know. It was a fuck. It was. I was like, wow, that is actually not how you talk to people at all. Like, did I fuck your wife and knock your kid down? No. I'm asking for the raise that you said that I was going to get. You don't get to just scream at me like that. And that was actually the moment that I went out and I quit. I quit like 2 days later after that. I just walked out. I went to one of the bosses that I did like, and I was like, "Hey man, I quit. I'm gone." And he said, "Okay, good luck." Like, okay. I guess he was a little bit in the know of what was actually going on. So, uh, felt bad because the rest of the guys that I worked with had to pick up the slack that I had left them, but I was doing the whole front of the fucking complex by myself. Okay, I'm doing treated lumber, uh, ground contact, non-ground contact, fireproof, all of the sheet good, the particle board and all that shit up there that's like fire rated, water rated, ground contact, like all the fucking. That was a big area. That was way too much for one person to do. We had one guy that had done it for a very, very, very long time, but I would end up going over there and helping him pull orders and stuff all the time too. And so it's not like he handled it as well as you could, but he still needed help. And that guy quit, and then I got stuck on that position, and nobody was coming to help me, and it was just me. But I was actually getting it done too. And so whenever I quit, it was like, all right, this is somebody else's fucking area now. Adios. I don't have to think about this place at all. I'm out of here. I went to work for the railroad. And I had a great fucking time working for the railroad. That was the most money I've ever made in my life. But being out of town months at a time was not good for me and my new wife. Well, I don't know if we were married then, but yeah, it's like what we're together, but we're never together. It's like I have no idea when I'll be home, and if I do come home, I'm going right back the fuck out. Yeah, it was a rough time for the relationship, but I had a great time at work. It was a good time, but it was just like stressful on the relationship. And I love my wife. I wanted to be with her, and I didn't want her to run around on me, and I didn't want to run around on her. So anyway, I don't know. I'm going off the fucking deep end here. I'm gonna get off here. Y'all keep all 18 now, and I'll talk to you again. Merry Christmas. Bye bye.